Hello my loves, welcome back. And today I want to talk about periods. More specifically, I want to talk about very painful periods. And I have had a lot of experience with this. I have had very, very painful periods for as long as I have been having periods. To the point where I wouldn't be able to sleep. I would then try and take painkillers, which I don't do now, and then that would be, by the time I did that, it would be 1 a.m. in the morning and I'm like curled up in a ball, whining, hot water bottle over me, and the painkillers never kicked in, so it was only around about 5 a.m. when I passed out sleeping, and that was the only time that I was able to get to sleep. And so I would have gone to bed about 10, so it's about 7 hours of just waves of agony, which I'm sure you can relate to. And at the time I was at school, so I had to wake up in a couple of hours, and as you know, you just get completely drained, for me especially the first day or two of my period. So those were tough times, which is why this is a really, really near and dear topic to me, because I know how intrusive they are, and I know not all women get this, and men also don't really understand how impactful it is. And it's really hard to try and go around your day to day, especially if you work or you go to school where you have to show up, and try and work through and perform just as well when you've got huge period pains. And for me, for those of you maybe who are just watching out of curiosity, for me, my pain felt like, so first of all, it felt as though someone was jabbing tiny pins into my ovaries, like really, really quickly and like really hard. And then it felt like they were taking those pins and dragging it down that really sensitive part of your hip, where at the front where your hips meet your leg, that like really soft and sensitive part. I then had a lot of aching around my lower back and also my front as well. It was like a huge, really, really strong ache. And then because all of that was really, really intense, it would then rise up into my stomach and make me feel really nauseous. So I fully understand what it's like to have very harsh period pains. And actually, it's only been recently where I've finally found a system, a way of when I'm feeling period pains, but I can actually get them to go from really, really strong to now either really low pain or I don't feel it whatsoever. And that's what I want to share with you today. If you have tried all of the basic period pain tips, like good eating well, sleeping well, drinking a lot of water, trying to build comfort around and space for yourself, if you've tried all of those basic tips and you're still curling up in agony, then this one's for you. So I found that when I am, before, I also want to say that periods never used to make sense to me, period pains, because to me, pain is your body's way of telling you something is wrong. And if periods are such a natural part of your cycle, I was very confused why my body was telling me something was wrong. And so what I realized is I started to lean into this and, really get to the idea of, okay, it's not that my body is telling me my periods itself are wrong, but there's maybe something around the association of that area, so my femininity or my sexuality, that my body is trying to communicate something to me. And so when I started to get really, really intense period pains, I would close my eyes and I'd go into the pain. And essentially what I realized was that I was disowning my femininity in that moment. I could actually feel I was tensing like my lower back and my womb, and it's really, really subtle. I must do this throughout all of the month, but it's only when my periods come along that my body is able to tell me, hey, something is really, really wrong here. And it's because I'm tensing up all those muscles and I'm locking out my life force energy, my source of energy, my vitality, my sexuality. And I don't mean that in necessarily an eternal way. I just mean that ability to feel life, you know, feel that you're a part of life. And I was completely blocking that off. And I'm now so grateful, and I love that I get painful periods now, because it tells me that I am locking out a really key part of my body. And when I focus on integrating that part of my body, that part of my being, that's when my period pains will go. So I will close my eyes no matter where I am. Last time it happened, I was in an airport. I was like, no, I'm closing my eyes. I'm building that safe bubble around myself, which to me means drowning out everyone else, drowning out everything else, and just focusing on, okay, what does my body need? So I go back to my basic needs. Do I need some water? Do I just need quiet? Do I just need to sit down or lie down? And I had my parents with me at the time, and I just let my mum hug me and hold me, and that's really new to me. I'm working on, or I have been working on, letting people in and letting people comfort me, and that was a part of surrendering to my femininity as well, you know, letting someone take care of me. And the more that I did that, the more I lent into it, the more I kind of energetically asked my mum to comfort me and hold that space for me, the more powerful everything felt, more powerful the healing felt. And so once I had that safe space, I would put all of my energy into my womb. I would go into that pain, and ladies, this is a hard one, but you're going to have to feel that pain. No more locking it out, no more resisting it when you do get period pain, because I know that's what we try to do. We get the period pain, it gets way too much, and we try and resist it, lock it out, distract ourselves by watching TV or chatting or scrolling, doing something to distract ourselves. But you're not going to do that this time. You're going to drop into your womb. You're going to really feel the pain. What does it feel like? And if you're struggling with this, I would advise, what if your best friend or your mom or someone asked you to describe it? And even better, say these words out loud. So, I don't know, I feel it around where I think my ovaries are. It's an inch into my body. Feels like a really sharp shooting pain. Is it coming in waves? Does an image come to mind, a smell or a taste, a memory? Just put it into words, because that really gets you in touch with that area, rather than just seeing it as an area of your body that's in pain. So like a really vague experience. You're now putting words to it. You're now experiencing it and acknowledging it in the way that it is. You're not putting a story around it. You are directly describing what your experience is. So this is going to help you surrender to the pain. So we've created a safe space for ourselves. We have surrendered to the pain. We now really feel what it is in our body. We feel all of our energy is now around our hips and our pelvis. And now you're going to ask that area, you're going to ask from that area, what do you want me to integrate? What am I resisting? And I find that it's usually I'm resisting something in terms of surrendering. That's a huge part of femininity. For me, a big one was resisting help from my family, and we were in the airport at the time, last time it happened, and I still had a certain level of stress of, oh, I've got to keep in mind, like, what if something goes wrong, or I've got to keep an eye on my flight, and I just realized I don't need to stress about that, because A, I've already booked everything, I already know my details, and we have loads of time, and I can put a timer on my phone if I was traveling alone. But B, I also had my family there with me, and I was blocking them out, I wasn't using them, I wasn't integrating them. So that was what I was blocking out in the moment. But it really, as I say, this is probably happening throughout the month. You're probably tensing in that area, trying to block out your life force energy, block out your femininity all month. It's just that you feel it when you have your period. So ask it in a bigger sense as well, you know, like, what in my life do I need to integrate? And for me, that was to stop trying to control everything. I've got this low level hum of, or I used to, this low level hum of, I need to be alert, nothing's safe, I can't release, I can't relax, I can't trust, I must control. And when I started to, you don't even have to specifically have something that you want to integrate or stop controlling, just embody it, you know, ask yourself, what would it feel like if I completely gave up control, if I completely surrendered, if I let someone else take care of me? You know, asking these questions where you let yourself be supported. Imagine that someone is providing and loving and caring on you, and you're just enjoying that space. Someone is holding that container for you, and all you have to do is just feel and be with your body, because at the end of the day, that's what your painful period is trying to tell you. It's trying to tell you to just be present and be with your body, be in your body. And this has been huge for me, absolutely huge, and it's completely changed my embodiment since having that revelation and that experience of reintegrating, because now I know so now that I'm at the end of my period, I take myself back to that memory of having the painful period and go, okay, because pain is really good at bringing you into the present moment. It's really good at taking you from all of the complications you have in your mind and just going, okay, I've got pain in an area, doesn't matter if it's your leg or your chest, or in this case, your womb. It takes you right there. It's asking you to be present. It's saying, I've got something that I want to tell you. I've got demands I need from your body, and I need you to surrender that so I can heal, so I can do my work. I need you to trust me, and I need you to let me do what I need to do and do what I know how to do, because the body is a self-healing mechanism. And so when we surrender to this area, the womb takes on an intelligence of its own. And so when you recall that memory of having pain, you then recall that practice of you going from your head, sinking into your womb, and just, being really, really present and living from that womb space. And then from here, this is where we're most magnetic. This is where your worries and your thoughts start to fall away, and you're able to flirt with life and to feel life, and life becomes a lot easier. People are drawn to you, people want to help you, and from this space you are open to helping others. Also from this space, it's not just a case of you take or you receive, because I know sometimes receiving can get a bad press. It can feel like you're taking. You're also giving as well, because now you're in your womb space, you're in your core essence. You now radiate your natural gifts beautifully, and that's really, really special. And the beautiful thing about that is when you're giving your gifts, you're also receiving too. It feels so good, it feels so easy, it feels so natural. And that's why I'm so excited about this topic and to share this with you, because it's been a huge revelation, and really just my body has been screaming at me for years and years and years, ever since I've been getting a period, that hey, you're blocking me off, you're blocking off your autonomy, your gifts, your power, your juiciness, your pleasure, your creativity, your imagination, your help with others, your connection with others, just everything. And then now period pain beautifully drops you. Well, first of all, period pain is telling you, hey, something's wrong. And then second of all, it is showing you the roadmap of how to reintegrate to your body. And that's, as we discussed, when you drop down, you start describing the pain, you start feeling the pain, stop seeing it as separate from yourself. Show your body that you were loving it, that you were listening to it, that you were taking it in. And honestly, sometimes even when I drop into my womb and I start describing that pain, really feeling it and being present with it, all of a sudden a lot of the pain starts to diminish. Ignoring it is one of the worst things we can do, and that's not going to help you long term. Your pain is asking you to make a lifestyle change, and this is really, really going to help. You need to reconnect with your femininity, to your surrender, and to your life force energy. I really hope this helps. It will take some practice, and that's okay. Just keep it in your mind for every time that you have painful periods, and still do those other basic things. Still sleep well, eat well, look after yourself. Take the time that you have a period to really relax and feel into your body in every way. Ask it what it needs. These are usually very basic needs, such as resting or going outside for a walk or anything that feels good. So I really hope this helps. As I say, this has been a game changer, completely mind-blowing for me, and I'm really excited to hear how your experience goes too. So let me know in the comments. Thank you guys very much, and I will see you in the next one.